This video is made for adult collectors because ugly ass rat. So Rattrap's articulation is weird because... Did she just fall off the shelf? Okay. Bo-Katan wants to be part of the video again, I guess. She was on the shelf up there because I just put her there after Mando's video. And I guess them wobbly at... Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know what? You can just lie down up there. And you stink. That's the intro now. Beast Machines is so weird. Like the designs and the setting and the whole story, these things look kind of freakishly and like nightmarish, but I think it's neat. Rattrap though is one of those designs I just don't vibe with. In the show, he got mutated to not have legs, and it was weird, like real weird. I do want to get the Megatron though, that turns into like a head. That looks neat, and apparently you can like sit on G1 Fort Max. Anyways, this is Rattrap from Transformers Beast Machines in rat mode. That's a big ass rat. It looks like it's carrying the bubonic plague. It also looks like the size of an actual rat. It's kind of gross. It's also like a sickly green color with its bland gray all over and the dark red that goes from the back all the way down to the tail. The colors just don't look pleasing. They kind of add to that gross mutated look of this rat. The sculpting is good. There's a lot of detail on display that makes this feel half organic and half mechanical. The head sculpt looks also very rat. The yellow on the face is actually a nice addition. I kind of like that. And it has a gimmick that has a tendency to work sometimes. Rotating the tail turns the head, and it's supposed to flick the ears up and down, but it only kind of works like half the time, and it's not the greatest. So he has rat posing. Almost said rat poisoning. Rat posing. So the front legs can rotate. The head is weird. Front legs can rotate forward and back. They have a joint down here and a joint down here. These are basically the robot mode arms, so they can move in all sorts of places. I'll talk about that more in robot mode. But the tail, I wanted to do this segment because of the tail. Well, speaking of segments, it has a lot. So you can get some like really cool like sort of tail poses going on with this thing. Like it's obviously not SH Monster Arts or Hiya Toys level of tail articulation, but it's enough to be able to get like a lot of cool different movements out of this. I think it's kind of neat. I still don't like the head though. So yeah, let's just get him out of rat mode and into non-rat mode. Transformation. So I looked up the instructions and I watched a couple of videos on this beforehand. So I think I'm doing this right, but it still doesn't feel fully right. So I'm sure someone will tell me if I get something wrong in the comments because, you know, I'm only human. But to start with, we're going to completely rip the tail off because that'll be his weapon in robot mode. Put that off to the side. Then we're going to take this section and just flip that up. We're going to then come to the bottom here and open this section up because it refuses to stay closed. And we're going to just bring these out to get them out of the way. I'm going to fold up the rat feet. Then we're going to take these giant wheels on the inside and flick them out. Just get them out of there. Get them out of there. Stop it. Then we are going to take the rat head. Now this is the part that I'm kind of unsure about. So if I bring this up, right, you're supposed to take that up. Then what I found is the easiest way to make everything fit is to fold these back here, then fold this down and sort of straighten this all out like that. Then shove this into here because this doesn't like staying closed. And with the chest like this, it stays closed the most for me. So that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know if that's like correct or not, but we're going to then rotate the head around on that scarily tight clear plastic hinge. And just leave it there. It's not going to stay. It's going to come off at some point. Then we take the lower leg section. We're going to bring it together and peg it together. Then I'm going to, for now, rotate out the feet, fold the wheels around, come under here and flip out his heel. Do the same thing on this side. Pull the foot down, rotate the wheel, bring out the heel. That rhymed, it wasn't meant to. Also, the heels don't have stopping points, they just keep going. So heels sometimes just like do that, which is very fun. I love when toys do that. Then you bring the legs down, straighten out, and then these become the arms. Straighten this out, that becomes the arms. And yeah, he just looks down a lot. You can kind of sort of rig it to go up and then the chest comes undone, which is why I'm like, I don't know if this is correct or not, but everything I see just shows him with his head looking down all the time. So what I'm gonna do is just have him stand there like that, I guess. Something's really interesting down there. Here, he's looking at Captain Rex's helmet. That's what he thinks is interesting. This is stupid. They gave him legs. I don't know if that's more or less cursed to this design, but we're just gonna put them away and there. That's better? No, it still looks weird. It's like Mutant Rattrap. It's odd. It works for the aesthetic of the show, but like, damn, it's odd. The tail is kind of needed to balance, but it can peg into the hands and then he permanently falls over. He also just always is looking down-ish, which means that his chin bumps into the collar section sometimes, and the mouth gimmick works like half the time because of that. If you position it all in a very specific way, it works, but not 100%. They made the rat theme continue into the head sculpt, by the way. I do like how the theme carried over, and I'm kind of a fan of this head sculpt. I think it looks great with the clear ears and all that. The chest, it doesn't like staying tabbed in. It makes handling this thing uncomfortable because it always wants to shift and pop out. There's nothing around it to keep it secure. It's just like, oh, these tabs go here, I guess, and then it comes out. The wheels have blades on them, which is pretty neat, pulling one out to bring out the rest, but the whole robot just looks ugly. You know, I originally didn't like this thing that much when Bionicle G2 came out, but I after rebuilding it, I really like this figure. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Bionicle, because Bionicle's better than that thing. We're here to talk about Beast Machines, specifically Beast Machines Rattrap's articulation. Now, we tried to do this earlier, and we got attacked by a Mandalorian, but we're gonna try this again. So, the head is on a ball joint, but that ball joint is just one big giant clear plastic thing, and this is a year younger than me, so I don't know if I want to trust that because it's so tight, but the head can, oh my god, rotate left and right. That's as far as I'm going to go. Then you have the mouth articulation. These shoulders can do a full 360. There is no in and out. You have bicep rotation. You have a bend at the elbow here. This is for rat mode, this joint. You got opening hands, which is really cool. And there's the big peg for you to take the tail and just shove it in there if you want. But if I do that, he doesn't stay standing. So tail stays on for this mode. He does have gorilla arms. You can rotate them to be like this, but then they bend inwards. He's got no wrist swivels, so there's that. Nothing at the waist. Hips are on ball joints, so they can go forward that far. In wheel mode, they don't really go back. They don't really need to do anything. The wheels do spin, but they're really tight. But if we fold down one of the legs here, come on. There we go. We got the heel out. You have in and out, forward and back. It's starting to come apart. You have thigh rotation. You have a double jointed, oh, that is stiff. Okay. It's just coming apart now. You have a double jointed knee, and then you have ankles that are on ball joints. So he actually does have ankle tilt, which is, oh, that chest has come undone. God, fucking piece of shit. He does have ankle tilt, and then the ankles can go forward and they can go back. And then the heels, as I said, don't stop, so they keep going. But for my display purposes, and by display purposes, I mean shoving him in the closet after this, this is all staying in wheelie mode. Keep your chest plugged together. And the tail has all the same articulation as it did in rat mode. But, oh, the chest has come undone again. But yeah, it's not fun. I'm not a big fan of it. I could be doing something wrong up here, but like everything I've seen is just like this. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah. No, I don't recommend this. Unless you're trying to complete a Beast Machines cast. It's not expensive, but there are reasons for that. It's just, it doesn't even roll properly in robot mode. He just exists. He's a thing that I now have. He's gonna go in a closet. It's just, yeah, he's not great. I don't really recommend this figure. But that's my look at Beast Machines Rattrap. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.